And on to some breaking updates coming in right now. It's Congress versus Congress again in Punjab. Now, what you're learning is that incumbent Cabinet Minister Rana Gurjeet Singh has written to Sonia Gandhi saying that Sukhpal Singh Khaira, the Congress candidate from Bholat, should be expelled as he's facing drug money laundering charges. So that's the latest that we're learning. No end to the Congress versus Congress in Punjab. The latest being Rana Gurjeet Singh writing to Sonia Gandhi seeking expulsion of Sukhpal Singh Khaira from the party. Remember, this comes days after Khaira, along with other party leaders, had also written to the Congress seeking expulsion of Rana Gurjeet Singh from the party. And going across to Gursimran for more on this. Gursimran, of course, the Congress versus Congress continues unabated in Punjab. Tell us more about this letter that has now been written by Rana Gurjeet Singh to Sonia Gandhi.
See, the war of words between the Congress stalwarts continues, and this time it's Rana Gurjeet Singh who has written to Sonia Gandhi seeking expulsion of Sukhpal Khaira. Important to mention that in 2017, Sukhpal Khaira won on the ticket of Aam Aadmi Party, and then later he went along with 4 MLAs to join the Congress party. This time, still he's inside the custody after ED raided his residence and he was arrested. He was given ticket by the Congress top brass from the Bholat constituency, after which we saw how Rana Gurjeet and his colleagues of the Punjab cabinet, they went all up in arms against Sukhpal Khaira. It's important to mention that Sukhpal Khaira, when he was in Aam Aadmi Party, he was one of those persons who have openly revolted and have gone fully against CM Charanjit Singh Channi over the ED issue, the same issue for which the nephew of CM Charanjit Singh Channi, Bhupinder Singh Hani, was raided a couple of days ago.
Gursimran, I'm sorry, I'll have to interrupt you there. We are being joined by Punjab Minister Rana Gurjeet Singh on the broadcast. Good morning, sir. What do you have to say about this letter that you have now written to Sonia Gandhi seeking expulsion of Sukhpal Singh Khaira, beg your pardon, from the party on the charges that you've levied? You've said that he's facing drug money laundering charges. What more can you tell us about this letter?
See, money laundering is one thing. The other very serious matter, which is to my heart and to the heart of the Punjabis, and the Congress has been advocating against drug. So if it is drug money, see, he opposed me. He projected he is the cleanest man on the earth. He is always right, everyone is wrong. So now when the ED, I would praise ED for that. They have at least come out with a politician who is involved into drugs. And I've written a letter to the High Command, to Mrs. Gandhi, that this sort of people should be thrown out of the party, not him alone. He has been allotted a ticket from Plath constituency, not him alone. His family should also not be given the ticket. It is not the question of winning a seat or losing a seat. It is the question of life of the youth of Punjab. If politicians are involved into drug is a very, very serious offense, and the people who he is involved with, who have been named by the ED in the court, are facing charges, and they've been booked for 10 years.
Well, sir, just one more question that I have for you. You know, this comes just days after Sukhpal Singh Khaira had also written to Sonia Gandhi along with other Congress leader. He'd made some serious charges against you. It said he'd accused you, in fact, of some anti-party activities as well after you fielded your son as an independent candidate.
He has all the right. He has all the right. He has all the right to write that. I have no objection for that. It is for the Congress president to take a call. But this is a very serious matter. How can we Punjabis tolerate a politician who is into drugs, involved into drugs? This is not tolerable.
Okay. All right, sir. Thanks for joining us and sharing your thoughts with us on this. So that's the latest that we are learning. Punjab Cabinet Minister, in fact, writing to the Congress High Command seeking expulsion of Sukhpal Singh Khaira from the party.